Yeah, so I wanted to talk this morning about something that, I've been talking about a bit more recently, and I talked about it on this past retreat at Taraloka, and that's the quality of receptive metta awareness. So it's something that we can use when perhaps the mind isn't as resourced as it might be when we sit down to meditation some mornings, or some days towards the end of the day when perhaps the mind is a bit scrambled, it's full or taken over by particular moods. So it might be that the mood is a bit sort of blank, a bit flat, or low, but in some way not connected to one's own being. Which depending on what your life is like or your emotional makeup, that could be a fairly regular experience or just an occasional experience. But this practice can also be helpful just if there's something difficult going on, there's some unpleasant experience in your being. So sometimes it doesn't help to simply connect with the broad open awareness from this state. There can be a bit of a downward spiral into judgment and maybe a feeling of, oh, I can't do this. This being the practice. So sometimes it's fine to do that, and that's mainly what I would encourage you to do. This broad, receptive spaciousness of awareness can bring real relief to the mind and lift the mood, and just being with is often enough. But at other times, it can be helpful to specifically, two things, specifically make an object of feeling. Locate maybe around the heart, the chest, or the belly. What's the feeling in the mind? And I think I did a little blog specifically on this quite recently. But secondly, what you can do once in connection with the feeling tone is really dial up the qualities that are implicit in awareness, that are the sort of warmer spectrum, the more metta spectrum of awareness, the metta palette, you could say. So dial up those warmer colors and really encourage a kindly perspective in awareness, allowing, accepting, so not actively generating, but a little bit active, really open and encouraging particular states, but in quite a receptive way. Looking quite broadly at your experience to see what's there. Because sometimes we miss that there's a whole range, but we're focusing on one particular aspect of the experience. What we can also do with receptive metta is emphasize moments of pleasure. So this can help bring about, it can help lift the mood, pleasure through the senses. So maybe if your eyes are open when you're meditating and you're in front of a shrine, so any sense of pleasure or beauty that's in the visual field, or pleasurable sensations within the body, those two can be more accessible sounds, particularly if you're in a town, are more likely to be of traffic. If you're somewhere else, you may get some bird song, which can be pleasant and also lift the mood. Enjoyment. I think there can be enjoyment in in the practice, and particularly if you have a sense of options, of that Samprajanya quality, what would be helpful here? So you have a range of things that you've learned about the practice that you can use. That feeling of mastery can really give a sense of confidence. I know what to do here, know how to work gently and kindly with whatever's in the mind. So qualities like appreciation of what's there and patience with what's there can come in. So warm qualities of awareness, really notice them, notice what's there. Another way of talking about this is we really just need a quality of awareness that makes it possible to observe with right attitude. Right attitude is so helpful. It's more like the emotional side of right view. So perspectives like well, we all have ups and downs. You know, you can't expect the mind to be the same every time we sit down to meditate. So there's a little bit of a wisdom perspective coming in a really kindly way. The mind is not the same every day, every moment being new and fresh. So that sort of perspective can really open up the heart and mind. We all have times when the mind is more tender and sore or needs resourcing and encouraging. So right attitude is very much the perspective that whatever is happening is okay. Whatever is happening is what's happening in this moment. And whatever awareness we can bring to that is enough. It's enough to be able to be aware of the experience with some helpful perspective. Sayadaw U Tejaniya says it's enough to be able to observe the storm. So even if your storm is a very sort of feels like it's a bit of not very much happening, or the mind is a bit blank or empty. Yeah, letting that be okay. That is not a problem in the practice. Yeah, there's real value in learning to observe whatever is there from one moment to the next, one day to the next. So receptive, opening to the metta qualities in awareness. That's what I'll say for today.